Coming at you live from my home studio in beautiful La Puente, California. This is the Dodgers Suck Again podcast. My God, what a game. Just not fun in any way, ladies and gentlemen. But we are here. We got reactions to the Dodgers 10-2 loss. Max Muncy doing a little bit of nothing for us late in the game. Will Smith with the walk. But just problems. And on top of it, people are fighting in the stands, or they're not even fighting in the stands. Dodger Stadium trying to fight Jurickson Profar and Fernando Tatis. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, as Juice Nero said right now in the chat, the embarrassment that did happen at Dodger Stadium in more ways than one. We got producer Kevin locked into the chat here. We'll get him a I got you a money sign because
I do. Do I?
Guys, this was not a fun game. This was not a fun game at all, any way, shape, or form. Roach is in the chat. Roach is disgusted. I'll go to the big screen, take you off the kids' table right now. Guys, sound off in the comments. Let me know where you witnessed this nightmare game at. Give us your area codes, your social, not the social security numbers, but fire off. Jump into the voicemail hotline as well. The number is in the description, 562-373-4095. Keep them voicemails short, sweet, and angry. Dodgers will be back on Tuesday, but the vibes that we had after game one, they are all the way gone, Kevin. What the hell?
It's tough. When I went into today's game, I thought, not stressed, not worried about it. If you lose, you lose, because at this point, you just have to keep going. You just have to kind of keep the line moving along. And they lost today, which they have two other chances in Petco, in San Diego, to do basically what the Padres did today. So,
That's fair.
They were always going to have to win a game in San Diego if they wanted to clinch the division. Or, sorry, not the division. They would always have to win the games in San Diego to clinch the NLDS. They just have to do it again. So, not super concerned. I'm a little more peeved about some of the behavior that was showcased at the stadium than anything else.
Yeah, we will get into that. Listen, I'm doing both sidesism on this, where I'm saying both sides had something wrong to do with this battle or whatever the hell we want to call it that happened in the set. I'm gonna say the embarrassment that happened in the seventh inning, but it doesn't matter because up to that point it was barely a ball game. The Dodgers were basically out of it from the jump. Mookie no show once again, but did just narrowly misses his first homer in quite some time, his first postseason hit in quite some time, and that's what kind of set this whole emotion or wheel of events in motion. There's the words I'm looking for. Because that robbery from Profar and him kind of egging it and hot dogging with the play, nobody knew if he had robbed the homer, and then he did. Of course, Fernando Tatis goes yard on Jack Flaherty in the first inning, and then things just go bad. Things just go bad very quickly for the Dodgers. You're down, 3-1, and then 4-1 before you know it, and then by the end of the game, it's down 10-2. Just not, overall, not a good feeling of a ball game. Up and down, just up and down, every bit of this, not a good feeling.
No, it's bad. I mean, it sucks. Like, obviously going into this, like, a series in San Diego, you would like to be up 2-0. Of course, it's better than being like being tied up going to San Diego. If you're the away team, you like, basically what you're telling yourself is, hey, just split the series in Los Angeles and we'll go home and try to win it there. It sucks going to San Diego knowing they need to win one. I mean, this team has the talent enough to win one. They just do.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, man, all of the good vibes, the good things that we felt a night ago, they're gone. The momentum is firmly in the court of the Padres right now. But like you said before we even jumped on, the difference 24 hours can make. In this case, it'll be 48 hours. You would prefer the Dodgers not have to sit for the better part of 2 days on a loss this bad, but the boys are going to need to wash it, and I would love to see. I would love to see, something out of the team. I'd love to see something out of Dave Roberts in this, even though we wouldn't see it. I hope he's having a conversation with the team. And I'm not saying fire Dave Roberts here, because I'm not that guy, and I don't think he gets fired. There's very little that man could do to get fired. But at some point, when you see a game just getting so very out of hand for your ball club, maybe some sort of spark, getting yourself kicked out for fun, kicking some dirt on an umpire if a call didn't go your way. But there wasn't really even any of those opportunities. It was, I'm not going to say surgical in any way, shape, or form. Like Flaherty started bad and was kind of okay, didn't really have the punch, didn't really have swing and miss stuff at any point. And Darvish was electric, and I don't know if it's more Darvish or the bats weren't there. Again, I said it earlier, Shohei Ohtani not involved in this game in any way, shape, or form. But just, you tip your hat to the Padres, but also a little bit of sore winners in there. I got to pause for a second because of how the time thing works with the network. I got to tell you about Bet Online. It's the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football and baseball. Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, even live odds and spreads during the games. If you think you know your stuff, get in on their $200,000 mega contest. Pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. If the game is over, you can head on over to their online casino, get in on a game of blackjack. There's poker. There's over 150 slot games available at your fingertips right there. So head to the website today. Get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here. And let's get into the chat here, Kevin, before I really start tipping my hand on a bunch of things. And I see we have a couple of super chats right off the bat.
Yeah, that's where we're going to go with Bob Nightingale, the 999 super chat. Insert endless amounts of curse words. Agreed. Richard Flores, Richie, we love you. $4.99 super chat. Profar poured gas all over the field and Dodger fans through the match. Agreed. It's what they wanted to fire their fans up. The hate is real. I will say, Padre fans have more vitriol for the Dodgers than Dodgers fans have more vitriol for the Padres.
Agree.
And it doesn't help to play into any potential antics. I'm not saying I don't think Profar had any antics there. I didn't watch the whole game. I listened to it on the radio and caught highlights, but it doesn't help when, you play into it. So I was pretty disappointed, I guess, overall with the behavior at Dodgers at the Ravine tonight. It's you want the Dodgers you want fans to show up and show out.
Yeah, again, how much different the fan base was from night 1 to night 2, game 1 to game 2. Admittedly, Fernando Tatis egging the fans on, Profar egging the fans on. You even saw after all of the fracas that went down, and they're off the field and they're like, "Oh my God, they're trying to attack me" or whatever. I saw from a fan who was at the game, apparently, Profar was chirping left field the whole night after that home run robbery, that Mookie Betts home run robbery. And into the 7th inning, he was about to, try to toss a baseball up between innings. He was going to toss a ball up to people down the left field line. They're like, "No, fuck you. We don't want that." So he tossed it to left field pavilion, who, of course, my homies in the left field pavilion, chucking baseball right back at Profar, and then he's like, "Scoff, what is happening? I am."
No,
it's like Kike Hernandez. Hey, listen. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
You can't throw something back at the player.
For sure.
We are all there.
Yeah.
Fans or otherwise are there to enjoy the game, the sport. We're there to witness what is happening on the field. You cannot just endanger is such the wrong word because he wasn't really in danger for his life, but you cannot
don't throw shit on the field.
Throw stuff
at
a player. That's so wrong. That's unbelievable. You saw it in a Lakers Celtics series last year or 2 years ago. It's the same thing. You cannot do that. That is unbelievably bad behavior.
Yeah.
From whomever is there. It just cannot happen. And yeah, I am 100% a lot disappointed in the fans there that night.
Yeah. We
1,000%
should be. Let's reset things here, guys. So game 2 between Dodgers and Padres, ugly in so many ways, bad all around for your Los Angeles Dodgers. So I want to know, again, how are people feeling after tonight's loss? Sound off in the stream here. Let's do a little high-level recap of everything. Right from the jump, luck not on the Dodgers side. Early, you had some big defensive stops on the San Diego side with Profar. Tatis had a nice play later in the game. Jackson Merrill playing a good defense in center field.
Great defense.
Yeah, they played well. They looked a lot better than they did the night before. Even Manny Machado making some big-time plays there, very early in the game. The energy was just not the same from the Dodger Stadium crowd. Not at all surprising when you're down early and Shohei doesn't bring you back. Shohei Ohtani yesterday brought everybody back to life. That same thing, we didn't get that luxury in game 2. But still a problem. As much as we glazed the Dodger bullpen last night, not good today. Starting pitching, not good today once again, even though Jack Flaherty gave the team exactly what you were asking for, Kevin, which is, pitch into the 5th, pitch into the 6th, 4 earned runs. And usually for this team, it kind of works out. In this case, it did not. 6 homers. The Dodgers allowed 6 homers, including Edgardo Henriquez making his major league debut. Maybe the rookie was not the right call there. Embarrassing fans again. Overall, we'll dive a lot more into it. I do think. I mean, obviously, it's not a thing. The Padres, some of their players egged it on. They for sure egged it on. They're a bunch of little shit talkers. But as a fan base, you got to be better. You got to be better.
I tweeted it out. Be better.
Yeah.
When Tatis came off the PED suspension, what was he doing when people were chanting cheater? He was dancing. He was egging on the crowd. That's what this team does. That's what the Padres do. And you know what? Good for them because they feed into it and they thrive off it. Good for them because, this is the best the Padres have been in pretty much the entire existence of that organization. As fans, you've got to be better. You cannot throw stuff at the player. That's unacceptable. It just is. I don't care if it's a rivalry or not. That's just unbelievably. That's in poor taste. That's
embarrassing.
God
Absolutely
forbid
embarrassing.
you hit Profar in the head or something and he goes down. You want to beat the best? You want to be the best? Beat the best. If Profar goes down, he's one of the best players on that team. That's such in poor taste. That's something that I saw from today that I was just I can't identify with that because I would never. Yeah. I'm very much a root for your team. Don't condemn or don't root against the other team. Talk up Shohei and Mookie and Freddie. Get the Freddie chants going. Get the Mooks going. Don't do shit to the other team. I can't stand
poor
stuff like
taste.
That. It's
embarrassing, egregious stuff. And the worst part is, again, even if, and some fans for sure are seeing my side as well, that it didn't come out of nowhere. Dodgers fans aren't throwing shit on the field out of nowhere. There was something egging them on. It's the 7th inning. The beers are flowing. The Modelos are flowing. The Micheladas are flowing at Dodger Stadium. People are getting fucked up and more likely going to be more upset, more easy to trigger, and that's exactly what happened. In terms of respecting the game here, there were no winners. San Diego won. In the box score, they won 10-2, but there were no winners at all in this ball game. Where they do get some win though is the momentum is firmly in the Padres
in their
court right now. But your momentum's as good as that day's pitcher, and the next pitcher for the Dodgers is Walker Buehler. Everybody's happy about that. We have a good time. A lot of other little problems. Swelling Sausage in the chat talking about Mookie Betts being 0 for his last 24. Mike Rodriguez.
You
go ahead.
He could have been 1 for 24.
Yeah, he could have.
I mean, it was a great play.
Yeah.
Phenomenal
play from Profar. Absolutely. Yeah.
I was at a bar and I thought that ball was gone too. I mean, like he reached 3 rows deep into right field and snagged that ball.
Yeah.
Just absolutely incredible. I mean, the Padres show up. We know this. They do that. Like it just, you gotta play better, and it trickles down to the fans. Gotta be better. It's gotta be better.
Gotta be better, guys. Dodgers also need to be better overall. Jenny Vega says, guys, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Yeah. Apparently, I don't have one of those little buttons on this one, so we'll do it here. We'll do it on this particular scene. Yeah, again, I'll say it again. You tip your cap to the Padres for putting together a great game all around, defense, offense. Manny Machado bringing his team together in the right moment, and then being a spark plug that eventually led to a big homer, and then the game getting out of hand there in the 8th inning and 7th inning, whatever inning. I think it was the 8th inning there. But yeah, no momentum gone in this series, and when you lose one of the 2 home games in these NLDS, in these 5-game series, the momentum is already shit if you lose one of those in these short series. It's not a good series, and this is where we see the Dodgers continue to struggle. I don't feel 2022 vibes in this yet. I don't know if I feel worse, if I feel better. I remember very little about 22, but I know I don't feel good right now.
Do you know who won the first game in 2022?
Absolutely. Oh, Dodgers.
Okay. Yeah. Do you remember who won the second game in 2022?
Them Padres.
Okay. Okay. And then the third game and the fourth.
Padres and the Padres.
Do you know how home field advantage the first 2 games in 2022? It's literally history repeating itself. I am terrified going into this series because now they got Michael King going on Tuesday, and the Dodgers have Walker Buehler. And I love Walker Buehler. I love the man, but it's a pitching disadvantage. I thought if there was a game the Dodgers could definitely take, I was hoping it was against Yu Darvish, not because Yu Darvish performs poorly against the Dodgers, because normally he does very well, but because he's had a very off year in terms of Yu Darvish standards. He missed a good portion of the year dealing with some personal issues. He, according to some friends and some Padres, sources
supporters,
I've got, he's lost a lot of weight, and his mechanics have been kind of not in sync and not where they need to be. This was the game I was hoping the Dodgers would take. Now it's dead even. You're basically in a best of 3, and the Padres have home field advantage.
I argue against that. I don't think it's dead even. I think the Padres have the advantage because you have have home field advantage. You have Michael King coming off of an electric performance in the wild card series, and you have Walker Buehler, who has been wishy-washy, would be an improvement if we're talking statistically. We're trying to sell ourselves on Walker Buehler, particularly as the season went along, particularly in the month of September. But still, the numbers say that he posted an ERA over 5.5, did not look good quite often, and he's basically just trying to figure it out on the go. But so was the rest of the starting rotation. I mean, didn't get a great start. He didn't get much of anything out of Yamamoto in Game 1 and Jack Flaherty. The worries that I had in September are kind of rematerialized. You needed to have an ace performance, and this team plainly doesn't have a fucking starting pitcher ace. They also, if you look at the chat, as much as we do avoid, not avoid, I think you do have to kind of call into question a little bit here Dave Roberts. I'd like to see a little bit more. I'd like to see some spark, some fire out of him when he sees the momentum shifting away from his team. I don't know what you do, and I said this already, I don't know what you do when there weren't like a bunch of very close calls. There wasn't anything that was absurd. Yu Darvish was cruising and carving up your hitters. So I don't know what you do, but you'd like to see a little bit of spark out of Dave, not just the same. It's not a dumbfounded look, because I love Dave Roberts. He's a great dude, but at some point you do need to call into question, is there a different or a better leader for the team? And I don't know what a different person does in this game, but it's worth the conversation when the Dodgers have won 60-game championship in the 9 years Dave Roberts has been running this team.
An hour, like 24 hours ago, we were talking about how
Pulled the right levers.
All the right levers. Dave cannot be up there at the plate. He's not on the mound. He doesn't do anything but make sure that the team is in a position to win. Now, when Jack Flaherty goes, he went 5 innings today with 4 runs.
5 1/3.
Offense is just non-existent. He goes to the guys that hadn't pitched because he needs his guys that are going to be ready, like the high leverage guys that are going to be ready for Tuesday.
Yeah.
I don't think Dave did nothing wrong today. Just the guys didn't execute.
Yeah.
And
Darvish did. Yeah. I talked about literally last night. The dream scenario, in my opinion, was Jack Flaherty going 5 innings and 3 earned runs. That was simply because I presumed the offense would also show up, and they didn't. And that's just baseball. You just kind of shrug your shoulders and go, it's baseball. I can't stand you, Darvish, as a pitcher simply because he was terrible for the Dodgers in 2017, and now he just crushes them literally every other time we've ever faced them. But that's just baseball, and it sucks, and they're going to have to really gut one out with either Michael King on the mound or a bullpen game. They're going to have to gut one out, and man, you go to the bullpen game, you are playing with house money as Mike Schilt.
No,
yeah.
He doesn't have any other choice.
Yeah,
he has
yeah,
no.
Yeah. No, I was saying you could, you technically, in theory, you could, and if you pocket King for game 4, so that's a spot you want to be.
Yeah. King's gonna pitch the next game.
Well, I mean, I'm saying because you said to a bullpen game. Now imagine they flip even more. You're pushing back Michael King, but you're rolling the dice that you have enough momentum right now. The Padres are so downtrodden, right? Or the Dodgers are so downtrodden right now that you throw out a bullpen game in game 3. This is me thinking way outside the bun, way outside.
No,
the bun.
King's gonna pitch Wednesday or Tuesday. Excuse me. King will pitch Tuesday, and then. I don't know. That's what I'm saying is you got to win one of the two. You either got to beat King Tuesday or Wednesday. You either have to win a bullpen game or you have to beat somebody on short rest, which would be Dylan Cease, who the Dodgers have gotten to. But still, you don't want to be in this position at all. And 24 hours ago, we were talking about how Dave did all the right things, and I stick by that. Dave did all the right stuff. Dave did everything he could. You know what? It's not his fault. Jurickson Profar caught that home run. It's not his fault that Mookie and Freddie's not feeling well. It's not his fault for that. That's just shit happens.
M&J Gordon in the chat saying, please, this isn't on Dave. And I agree. I don't think it's on Dave. There's not much you can do. But to what my buddy Kevin Perez Allen says in the chat, he said just a second ago, there's another one that's on the screen there. What the hell did he say? Oh, yeah, it's just baseball, but it specifically happens to the Dodgers every year and not everyone else. So, again, this is where I'm not saying fire Dave Roberts. I'm saying, and this isn't on him, I'm just saying at some point you need to have a conversation. It's about how what do you do different? Because I've been in that press room where the Dodgers lose in the postseason early again, and Andrew Friedman fields that question, and he's going to have to field it again. Is Dave Roberts your manager? And it's there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer in this situation. Well, there's a right answer. Dave Roberts will be managing the Dodgers next year, and I keep saying unless he, somebody walks in, Mark Walter walks into his bedroom and Dave is banging his wife or something like that. That's the only way Dave Roberts loses his job. It's the only way.
You heard it here first, folks. If Dave Roberts gets fired, he was banging Mark Walter's wife. You You heard it here first.
I want to pause for a second as well to let the mods know, moderators in the chat. Listen, I welcome negativity. I don't want to see Padres trolls or trolls in the chat. But if people have bad things to say about the team within reason, I'm open for it. So guys, don't block those, don't delete those messages, because it's fair. As a Dodger fan right now, you have every reason to be upset. You have the last 3 postseasons to be upset. You have a number of postseasons to have some feelings of resentment towards this team, and I want people to feel like they can voice their opinion here in the chat about not a good looking ball game for the Dodgers.
Absolutely. I got the chat popped up. Bring them on. If somebody says something out of pocket, I'll ban them immediately. You get a 300 second timeout if I think you did something wrong. No, I want to hear it. Like, we've got Padres fans in the chat, of course. I got Padres fans in my life all the time. I don't have like many Dodgers fans, believe it or not, that I can like talk to and root with. But it's still a frustrating point in fandom right now.
Absolutely.
Is like, this team is so talented, and it's the same problem that's cropping up, which is, to your point, Clint, what do you do? And in my opinion, there needs to be an overhaul. There needs to be a really long, hard look at what the organization values in a pitcher. Because we can't do this year in and year out. Because every year, the 2 things we say about the Dodgers rotation is, oh man, they got high-end talent and they got depth for days.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of July and in August, we're like, we're trading for Lance Lynn. Oh my God, we're trading for the shell of Brandon Woodruff at this point.
And you're hoping this guy comes back from a major injury and can contribute or produce. Yeah, no, it's 13 pitchers, 8 pitchers on the IL right now that could be, game changers on this postseason staff if they were healthy. But that's just where the Dodgers are at, and that's another thing that Dave Roberts can't control. He can't control the injuries.
He cannot, and if anybody's having a bad day, just really fast. Newt, come here, boy.
Well, while he talks to his dog, guys, let's listen to what some folks have to say on the voicemail hotline. We got a couple of calls in. Let's hear from our guy Grizzly Oso, who I'm sure has some great thoughts about your boys in blue.
Hey, this is Miko, a.k.a. Grizzly Oso. Calling in after this heartbreaking loss. I don't understand why we lose this way, why we lose to this team. But what I do understand is the lack of fire, the lack of vitriol, the lack of, just the lack of desire to want to win. We show it so much, jogging over the balls, you can see it in the team. Does it start with the management? Maybe. Am I on board with the fire Roberts thing? Yeah, I am. I don't think Roberts really understands how to get his guys psyched up. Now, there's the argument that people shouldn't need psyching up, and I get that. But this is postseason baseball. Your leader, Roberts, should be able to do that. Should getting people excited. Should be getting people to recognize these things. The other team's doing it. It may not be Roberts doing it, but the other team's doing it. They showed them having a little meeting after the whole 70s baseball fans throwing stuff at them, and look what happened. We need that now. We need a lot more of it. We just need to be doing better. I'm just tired of this. I'm tired of losing to this team. I'm tired of these umps, and I'm definitely tired of the commissioner. All right, that's all I've got for tonight.
Yeah, look at that. Our guy Grizzly Oso letting it eat right there. Yeah, I think that's a really good thing to dive into for a little bit. I think that's where a lot of fans are at. We're tired of this. We're tired of having to come up with excuses and talking about the pitching and maybe needing to have, or even having to have a conversation about having a conversation, concepts of a conversation about Dave Roberts and all this kind of stuff. It's draining. It's draining to go through 6 months of this and all the good feelings we had 24 hours ago. Look at you guys are driving Kevin to drinking the good stuff. To where we're at right now.
They don't even know, which is crazy. They have no idea.
Your good stuff clue. There. Yeah. And tonight was a night where you need to have the good stuff out there.
You gotta have the good stuff.
But
no, to your point, it is tiring. We've been here since like 21 you can kind of wash away. You have a World Series hangover or whatever, but 22, 23 you get embarrassed by teams in your own division.
Yep.
It's tiring. It's not like we're losing here to the Mets or the Phillies or the Cubs, God forbid, despite the fact that I live in Chicago. We're losing series to the Diamondbacks and that is inherently frustrating, and I don't blame any one individual, but it sucks every year going into the playoffs going, this qualifying the roster. Oh yeah, this team's great, except for the fact that our entire pitching rotation or starting pitching rotation is comprised of pitchers that we either traded for at the deadline or are held apart with duct tape and prayers and dreams and some fairy dust
and a random rookie Landon Knack, who could be the Dodgers' final hope if Walker struggles in his Game 3 start. And by the way, confirmed Walker Buehler is, we all knew it, but Dave Roberts did confirm Walker Buehler starting Game 3 of the NLDS.
All right.
And Freddie Freeman, by the way, they as of now, they do not know his status for Game 3. Did exit. We didn't talk about the Freddie situation yet, but you lose Freddie in the middle of a game. To be expected. He has a nasty ankle injury. Probably shouldn't be playing. And yesterday, he is all hopped up. He's got the adrenaline. Tonight, the adrenaline wasn't there. So it hurts more. It hurts.
I legitimately just cannot wait for the Freddie Freeman underwent off-season
it won't be one of those. I don't think it will. But hey, it's the life of a Dodger fan, am I right?
That's what I'm saying. It's just this kind of you don't think it's gonna happen, and all of a sudden, this guy got TJ. It's okay, cool. We were expecting him to be back eventually, and then all of a sudden, Tony Gonsolin, oh yeah, he's got whole body soreness. He'll be back eventually. Oh no, Tony Gonsolin, he's got TJ.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. See you next year. See you 2 years from now. It's just ridiculous. $5 super chat from Mike Lopez. Ohtani needs to pitch now. Mookie needs to start bunting to get on base, and Soft Dave needs to stop using relievers on back-to-back games. I agree with actually none of those points. None. Ohtani does not need to be pitching. Mookie needs to do exactly what he's doing, and I don't know. It's you want to talk about sense of urgency. I mean, this is the most urgent Dave we're gonna get probably ever.
You got to. He knows this whole team. And Mike, we appreciate the super chat. I only agree with the fire and the desire to see anything different. I've got two comments I want to hit as well. Bethany Ring just chimed in talking about the postseason PTSD. That is real. I really do believe in the fact that we are living through PTSD as Dodgers fans. And this is where we talked about it yesterday, even though the Dodgers won early on. It's just that feeling of, oh shit, here we go again. This is firmly an, oh shit, here we go again kind of game. I saw my guy Roach in the chat here. Wait, where'd you go? It just took off on me. But Roach says, I don't even get angry anymore. I'm just tired. over it. 11 division titles in the last 12 years and nothing to show for it. Just disappointment time after time. And I can agree with that. I get tired. I get tired of getting to here, and I don't know if I'm selling it to myself, if I'm trying to sell myself into this team is good, or hey, this is going to be better than last year. I don't want to come off some sort of sunshine pumper for this team and all this stuff, because I truly did believe, and I do still believe, because this is one loss. Listen, if you're going to lose, go out in a fucking hail of glory like they did today. You still got 2 more games to try to win the 2 more games. You got upwards of 3 more games to try to win 2 more games. But it's very easy to have that, like, just, oh, God damn it. And then, having to hear from your friends that are fans of other teams, and then get into an early off season, and then us being here, imagining what content looks like in the middle of October when the Dodgers aren't playing anymore. That said, I don't think the Dodgers are done. I think this game sucked a load of ass. That is where I'm at.
You have a lot more faith than I do. That being said,
apparently both of my co-hosts not in on the Dodgers this postseason.
So part of it is just, it's a lot of PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
The problem I had with the team last year was you have good offense, you have a good bullpen, but it's whether or not your starting pitching gets you out of it. And lo and behold, it's the same problem I have with the team this year. And now you can say, oh, hey, the team is better than it was last year. And I agree. But also the opponent we're playing is better than last year. This Padres team is a real fucking team. I like the last year's Diamondbacks team. Good for them. Congratulations. You made it to the show. You made it to the chip. We're going to the chip. Whatever. You can do any number of chance you want on the way there. It is not as good as this Padres team. So yeah, this series absolutely worries me. And it's really concerning because at this point, we are now out of starting pitching. We are hoping on the back of Walker Buehler right here.
Wearing it.
He's
wearing butane.
I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it on Tuesday all day. I'm wearing butane all day because I believe in my guy, but his elbows held together with duct tape and vitriol at this point.
You need a little more vitriol out of him because that's when he pitches well, when he has that anger in him.
Oh, I fucking hope so, because he's going against a guy with somewhat
ace level stuff.
Michael King is literally the Blake Trinan of baseball. When he's right, it is the dirtiest stuff in all of baseball. It's just a matter of if he's right. And he's going up against a guy that is still trying to figure it out. And I love Butane to death. But it's an uphill battle. And that worries me because if they don't win Tuesday, I don't know what happens the next day. We've
seen the team battle back, but I don't think this team has the heart that the 2020 team had. I don't think it has the heart that 18 had. I don't think it has whatever the 17 team had. I think this is a very good ball club.
That was dreams. That was Tinkerbell. That was fairy dust.
But
Ray Rance with the $4.99 super chat says we need to start booing players who underperform. It worked for the Phillies tonight. No, I never.
Listen, it works in Philly. I will give Ray that it works in Philly. Dodgers at Dodger Stadium, it does not work.
It works actually in
it kind of worked with Kenley at times.
It barely worked with Kenley. Anyway, it works with it works against Manny and Tatis and Christian Walker. It works against a lot of the players we don't want it to work for.
No, Ray is talking about actively booing our own players. That's what we're talking about. I agree with, listen, you're a fan. You have every right to boo a player, to be upset with the product that you're paying now just gobs of money to be able to go and watch. You should. Yep. You should be able to boo if you are displeased with the product.
You
should hit that boo button.
You should absolutely boo if they're bad, but it doesn't work at Dodgers. It just doesn't. The stadium doesn't have that kind of energy. It just doesn't.
Let's dive into more of the comments here. We got a few more voicemails as well, and then we'll spin forward and look more at Game 3. But what did I see? I saw Speederbuilt, love it, says there were. I'm not surprised there were fights. Padres were taunting hard, and you know what? Fuck it, Dodgers need to show up. And if they get a lead, and if they do something special, make Padres fans upset. Yep. As much as we've tried to make this not a rivalry, or it wasn't in reality a rivalry, this is now the best active rivalry in baseball. Far and away. Dodgers-Padres, there's something there. I do appreciate the players for creating the tension, creating the animosity, because baseball has been missing this. Now it's up to the Dodgers, though, to read and react to that. Dave Roberts, I talked about this either in the pregame or whenever the hell it was yesterday. Dave Roberts talked about the team's inability to read and react. That was more so talking about to pitching. I think Darvish just had it tonight. He was on. If he's pitching at Dodger Stadium in the postseason, he's 100% exercising his own 2017 demons as well. So hats off to you, Darvish, for being, an ace at 38, showing that maybe they weren't wrong giving him all that money. They were wrong giving him all that money in all those years into age 43. But, Dodgers create some vitriol, create some more division at Petco Park. Have some fun with it. If we're going to go out in a hail of glory.
As a fellow Japanese native myself, fuck you, Darvish, man. It just come.
I'll drink to that.
You do the Dodgers. I know the World Series was not in his favor, and obviously the Astros were cheating at the time, but he didn't do well for the Dodgers leading up to it. And from that point on, he just crushes the organization left and right. I can't stand facing you, Darvish. It's
when he's on,
every time he's on the mat,
and he's
on,
it's
against his team. 7 pitches. You have no idea what's happening. You have no clue.
Let's get back into the voicemail hotline. I think I've got Richie loaded up here. Wrong button. I think I've got Richie loaded up here on the voicemail hotline. I'm interested because Richie in Devore was at the ball game. He saw this up close, all of the things. Let's listen.
What I saw tonight at Dodger Stadium from our fan base was a total fucking embarrassment. Manny, Profar, and Tatis love to troll.
Yep.
It's part of their game. It's what they're good at. It's what they do. And they worked it masterfully. Even though anybody with a fucking half of a brain knows the last thing that Flaherty wanted to do was hit Tatis to lead off the inning when you're already down, and they know that. They took that opportunity to turn it into a shit show, to get into the Dodgers' heads, to get into our heads, and it worked. And how do we respond? We throw shit on the field, make Profar look like the fucking victim, and all we have done is what they wanted. Not only did they shove it up our ass tonight, but now they've incensed their fan base. And when we go down to Petco, we're going to be walking into a hornet's nest, and they're going to be relentless from the first pitch to the last pitch. And if you think that Beat LA chant is going to be loud, you haven't seen nothing yet, my friend. It's going to be ugly down there. There will be a bench-clearing brawl. Somebody is going to get hit. But we fueled their fan base, and that's exactly what they wanted. And now it's the best of 3, and 2 of those are at Petco. And it's not going to be pretty. And Flaherty is going to have to do a better job. Our starting pitching is going to have to guts it up and go at least 5 innings and not keep serving up meatballs in the top of the first. Or else we're looking at 2022 all over again and the third year in a row that we get bounced. Fucking bullshit.
We love.
Oh man, he didn't say fuck the parking lot. Oh man, you know Richie's upset.
He let it. He let it
the
eat.
parking lot.
He let it eat.
Where were the lies? You know what I mean?
No, not a single lie. No lies detected.
It was embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not only did the Dodgers lose, the fans lost it for. I absolutely hate that shit. I really, really do. The players are there to entertain. Why the fuck is anybody just endangering a player, doing anything to make them uncomfortable? Like, just let them be. I just really hate that shit. And it's unbelievable. I don't care if it's the Padres. I'm a Raiders fan. Don't care if it's the Chiefs. Don't care if you throw shit at Patrick Mahomes. Fuck you if you do. Just be a fan.
Yeah.
Enjoy the game. Have a good time. Pay $18 for a goddamn tall boy like the rest of us. Just do it. And I just, that is so despicable.
Yeah.
Given the, just, oh my God.
Again, like I said time and time again, man, the Padres won, but there were no winners. There really were no winners tonight, and the losers were Dodgers twice over. I like Julian's comment here, by the way, because he's 100% right. He's like, man, win one, we're going to sweep, it's a lock, lose the next, it's over, fire Roberts, trade Mookie, shaking my head. Y'all need to stick to supporting or trashing. We can't be a fair weather fan base. Julian, I fully agree with you. However, doing a show here on the internet, doing anything that is actively on the internet where you're speaking to people, there has to be a sense of sensationalism, or else people just don't care. People don't click. That said, you can also get doom and gloom. You know, it's there's waves, man, to these games. There's points where we feel good, and there's points like today where we feel like shit. Is that not right, Kev?
No, it's absolutely so right. But also at the same time, I think you and I are both Dave defenders. That's not going to change off one game, especially when Dave doesn't do anything wrong. We're pretty objective in our outlook of the team or their performance
and
or
the criticisms.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly. Like Ryan Brazier gave it up. Hey man, like yesterday we're singing his praises because he was put in a good spot, and today. Yeah,
and Brazier was far from the losing factor in this game, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not that we're sitting here like we're not going from one direction to the other based off what the tide dictates. We absolutely here at the All Dodgers podcast with Clint and occasionally
Kevin
at producer Kevin. We'll give you legitimately what we're thinking, and it's not going to change on a week-to-week basis. It'll look at what's happening, trends we've seen, and if it makes sense to, or if the outcome makes sense to what we've seen or what we haven't. Because even today's outcome made a lot of sense to me. Yu Darvish absolutely shoves against the Dodgers. That's not a crazy outcome. And all of a sudden, you're asking a guy that really hasn't pitched in the playoffs since like 2018, 19 with the Cardinals to like basically carry the team. Like we know what's happening. We know we're plugged in with the team.
We hope, we pray, we cross our fingers that they'll find ways to scratch and claw. But this is in reality, this is a very flawed team. They're injured, they're hurt, they're missing somebody who's arguably their ace or co-ace in Tyler Glasnow. Kershaw once again gone. You don't have an Emmett Sheehan, you don't have a Kyle Hurt, you don't have a Tony Gonsolin, even though maybe you could. You don't have a Dustin May.
Freddie.
You don't have a healthy Freddie. You don't have a healthy Miguel Rojas.
Thank you.
There's a lot of pieces, a lot of problems, and the Padres were phenomenal in the second half of the season. They're a very, very good team, but
so good.
Dodgers are also very flawed, but it does not mean they don't have the ability to beat the Padres. We saw it. They took 2 or 3 against them in LA just a few weeks ago. Now they got to take 2 or 3 against them over these next 3 games. I see a $4.99 super chat from my guy, OG Kevin. Kevin Perez Allen says, apparently Profar was chirping at fans all game, and he tried to throw a ball to the stands. When they threw it back, that was the whole thing. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier.
That ball should never, ever land anywhere close to a player. If you're going to throw a ball back, throw it out of bounds into the foul territory or in the gap.
But the fact is, he understood the assignment. Jurickson Profar understood what he was doing to the fans. The fact that he threw a fucking weapon to them.
No.
There's something there. He is not absolved. No. Listen, he tried to play victim. You saw his look on the face like, oh my God, what happened to me? I've been so precious. And that's one of the things that really does fucking bother me about this is that the whole narrative, all of the fucking like national, the Instagram pages and all this shit, they're just talking about, oh, Dodger fans, just that. There was something. Yeah, what the Padres did, what Profar did does not excuse what the Dodgers fans did. Dodgers fans, those particular fans, or whoever threw the few things that ended up on the field, 1,000% in the wrong. You make us all look bad. You make everybody at Dodger Stadium look bad. But at the same time, it wasn't like, it's like, hey, I'm not going to touch you. I'm not going to touch you. And then it's like, Mom, well, I didn't do anything.
But, okay, so.
Cry victim. Fuck you, Jurickson Profar, you irrelevant bitch.
So when your Eagles
fire me up.
Fire you up. When your Eagles are playing the Giants or the Cowboys, the Cowgirls, whatever, and all of a sudden Darius Slay Jr. he shoves, a receiver, and CeeDee Lamb shoves him back. What happens? Who gets flagged? Who gets flagged in that situation?
But that's that's between players. That's at least between players.
It's between players, but it's the same situation. We get it. Profar probably did things he shouldn't have done. He egged on fans, and he knew what he was doing, but it's up to the fans to be better.
Yeah.
And with a fan base who's kind of as quiet as the Dodgers fan base is, you got to expect better from them.
We have our troll, by the way. Barbecue Chips in the chat says, I would be defending. They say, I would be defending my fans too if I got blown out 10-2. There's not a single
Barbecue Chips, where are you?
Dipshit Barbecue Chips. I love you in my mouth, Barbecue Chips, but you are like clearly not paying attention because we are actively throwing the Dodger fans under the bus. They are in the wrong. However, Profar is kind of a little bitch when it comes to this kind of stuff, but I appreciate his bitchness because it does stoke the fires of rivalry. It makes the game more exciting, but he can't also be like, oh my God, they did this to me. I was just here, cleaning a dish in my kitchen, and all of a sudden these kids came in and attacked me.
I have 2 things to say to Barbecue Chips. And Barbecue Chips, I hope
That's
you take
a phrase right
what
there.
I'm about to say personally. I hope you do take this personally. 2 things I have to say. 1, Lay's or Ruffles? Are we talking about Lay's or Ruffles?
The pictures is Lay's. Yeah.
Is it? Oh, okay. It's Lay's.
It's Lay's. Yeah.
And 2.
By the way, Lay's superior barbecue chips.
Is it though? Like
yeah. Oh yeah.
Lay's. Oh, okay.
Okay.
And 2, just why? Just why? Why are you here? Like, just like out of sheer curiosity.
It's fun.
I'm super curious.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
It's fun. It's a great time, but also like, I really want to know, Barbecue Chips. Are you a Lay's or Ruffles guy, or even are you a Pringles guy? Because Pringles have some good barbecue chips.
Hey, listen, really, sneaky good.
Man.
I will go cheddar first, but don't sleep on the barbecue.
Are you a big
cheddar
and sour cream?
Cheddar and sour cream. If we're talking Ruffles, cheddar, sour cream, Ruffles.
No. I'm talking Pringles.
But Pringles. Cheddar. Yeah. Oh yeah. You definitely. It's just the cheddar cheese Pringles. Elite stuff. right there. If I had my P's and Q's about it, I'm going with the the Nature Harvest Sun Chips. That's where I'm always going.
I might have to ban your former producer Kevin Perez Allen says only salt and vinegar chips are worth a damn. Salt and vinegar are the literal worst flavor of chips of all time.
I'm behind you on this one.
If you like salt and vinegar chips, you need to get your taste buds looked at. They are horrible. Like that is just an affront to flavor.
It's not good. I have some in my kitchen. Somebody wanted me to get them, and then they forgot I got them, and they're just there, and they're not good. They don't work with anything. But my guy KPA, he's a different kind of character. Another different kind of character is our guy Swollen Sausage. $1.99 super chat says we're competing, edging, we're hard, and we're pushing the ball forward. And Doc, and I appreciate that. That's a great comment. I do have more voicemails. I got to get into more voicemails.
Oh, so $1.99 from Jesus Figueroa.
Let's go.
Just came in. Said, nah, Profar, a whole dog can't handle the smoke. I don't know if it was a dog or a whole bitch. Don't know.
He can't handle the smoke, and we've seen it.
I'm not here to talk down on the Padres. I think they're a great team. And it's not where I'm at as a baseball fan. Just not where I'm doing.
Whoa, hold on. This is a game changer here. IB Strokin says there's flaming hot barbecue. I did not know this. Lucas Benitez.
Wait, as a Lay's or as a Ruffle? Like, what are you talking, Riches?
If it's flaming hot, isn't that technically owned by? Listen, this sounds like off-season talk, guys. We'll have our top cereals, our top chips. We'll get into
Clint,
all of that.
Are we doing a chips tier list?
Listen,
later, in the
back in the day, me and Doug were supposed to do a cereal tier list, and we never got around to filming it. But we got chips, we got cereal, we got everything. We got booze.
My name's not Doug. I'll do it. I'll fall on that sword. Let's do it.
That's not a good start. There's K-Mac _LA over there. K-Mac, so bad. What did I see? I saw one I wanted to read. Lindsay said, I hate to say it, but tonight I think sealed our fate. No, I'm not there yet. Lucas Benitez loves the heat from me. Thank you very much, Lucas. But again, I did say I want to get back to voicemails. We got to listen to our next voicemail. I think I got it loaded up. I think we're ready to fire off. Let's listen to this voicemail.
Yo, what's up, Clint, man? It's John. My YouTube name is John. To the game, man, stressed out. Mookie Betts, he hasn't done anything for us in the last 3 years. Signing him might have been a mistake. Sucks to say it because I love Mookie, man. He was our franchise player. And he still is, but he just doesn't perform in the postseason, man. I'm starting to think maybe not signing Bryce Harper was a mistake. Not offering him that long-term contract he wanted was a mistake. I just don't see how Mookie has helped us in the postseason, man. Thank you.
Appreciate the call there. Wrong button. Mookie, last 3 postseasons, not good. They have not been good. You see our guy Kevin with his Mookie Betts jersey ready to fire. I was big on Bryce Harper in that 2018 offseason.
Everyone
2018
was.
Yeah.
I think everyone was upset that Mark Walters didn't give him literally an extra year.
Yeah. I wish we had Ohtani money then to get Harper in there because that dude's an animal. He's absolutely an animal. And sometimes you don't see the mentality from that jersey you're holding up from 50. You don't see that animal mentality. I would listen, if we're talking about anybody, if we are talking about literally anybody to get angry at something, to be upset about something, it's not Dave Roberts. I would love to see Mookie Betts get angry about his strike zone just for once in his goddamn life. Not just strike out and then do that weird little turn and walk away.
It really is tough to watch because he just kind of he jumps and he brings the bat over.
Yeah, and then he's just walking away.
He just walks away. I get it. It's not him.
Mookie didn't lose the Dodgers the game today.
No, he did. That's the thing. Like Mookie Betts. For anybody who's asking, out of shirt, if you have Padre fans in your life, Mookie Betts didn't cost the Dodgers 8 runs. Just out of just so you guys know, that wasn't the case. It sucks because he's like 0 for 24, but he was gonna be like 7 inches closer to like 1 for 24. I have even with all of Mookie Betts' struggles, if you told me I got a man on second and 1 out, I need to get a run across, Mookie Betts is at the top of that list. He has been incredible with runners in scoring position all year.
Yeah.
He's been that dude. And for anybody who doubts him, just go look up his numbers. He doesn't strike out. He gets the ball in play. He's in a massive cold streak. He's pressing. He's, doing a little too much. But all it takes is one Mookie Betts game, and no one cares. And not a single person looks at his stats or whatever.
I honestly, with Mookie, man, I don't even look at the stats. I look at the mentality. And again, we're talking about that, the way he won't challenge an umpire, the way he won't defend himself against a bad call. I have an issue with this, and this isn't just this year, isn't just this postseason. It's regular season after regular season, postseason after postseason. Mookie, by the way, did speak with reporters. I got Bill Plunkett here on the Twitter. Mookie on his quality of at-bats. He says they're all out, so they're all terrible. I don't know really what to say about it. I'm giving my best, doing my best. Obviously, it's not good enough right now. And it's a defeat. What is he supposed to say? But it's also a defeatist response. Which is what we saw a lot of. I don't know.
What is he supposed to?
I don't know.
So what is he supposed to do?
I don't know.
Is he supposed to
nothing.
Challenge the home
Dodgers
plate umpire and get tossed? Because as soon as he argues balls and strikes,
I'm not saying there's a right answer here.
That's the whole that's the get up.
It's the conversation, but there's ways of doing it, like getting. I'm not asking for Mookie Betts to go out there like Kyle Schwarber yelling at Angel Hernandez, but maybe get a little bit of Nick Castellanos in there. Give me a little fire. Give me a little something.
But he does. He gives you.
No, he doesn't.
When he bounces, he does. He gives you.
You never see him talk to an umpire,
he doesn't look at them, but he says when he's bouncing away, he does say that's wrong or that's off or that's
man.
low.
I'm gonna change my ways. I want to see him getting some, be like, no, that's way get there. Don't say it walking
and then
away.
He gets tossed.
Stage him up a little bit. Now he's got some capital, man. He can say a word or two to an umpire. He can get in their face a little bit and remain in the game. This is Marcus Lynn Betts, two-time, almost two-time MVP, two-time World Series champion. He can get away with it, but I want to see that spark a little bit because Mookie's got to be tired of hearing people talk about this. I'm tired of talking about it.
Much as we talked about how good of a job Dave has done,
Thank you, Lindsay.
I think it's on Dave.
But then we get back into what's
Super Chat says,
hold on, what's Dave going to do?
Hire Juan Pierre and teach these hitters to bunt.
But then we get into the conversation, though, once again, what is Dave going to do? He can't go up there and fight Mookie's fights for him. Marcus,
he absolutely can. No. Because if Dave gets tossed,
and even for Dave,
Lehman's
some
there,
of those are
Pryor's
so
there.
close.
There are other
better managers.
There are other bench coaches there.
Oh yeah, I get you.
There is not another Mookie Betts at the plate in right field. There is not, and I get it. I get when Mookie gets this unbelievable. I don't get it. I like when he's up to bat. I don't understand how basically routinely a umpire calls a ball that is 6 inches off into the left-handed batter box's plate. He calls it a strike almost consistently, and I don't understand it. I don't. But it is so much better that Mookie doesn't get tossed because he is, without a doubt, one of the Dodgers' best hitters. We all understand that. Dave should fall on that sword, and I love Dave. I think he is the best manager for this team. It's a level of, he has to balance, okay, is Mookie Betts getting tossed worth myself getting tossed? And sometimes it's not. And it sucks for Mook because good Lord, does he get hosed at the plate. And I understand it just like everybody else.
Why?
I really fucking do.
He lets it happen, man. He just keeps letting it happen.
If he argues it at the plate, though, he's gone.
No, there is a way to do it. There is a way to do it. And the way he's doing it is not. The way he's doing it looks soft. It looks soft, and it's been soft for the last 4 years. Definitely the last 3 years.
Gone.
No.
He's the home plate umpire goes, you're showing me up.
Bet you $5,000 right now he's not hosed.
No, he's absolutely hosed.
Give me Mookie on the phone.
As soon as Mook says anything to the, as soon as he says the magic word of you,
it ain't happening.
He's
again,
gone.
no, it's like, come on. You give him something more than just the turn and it feels like he's doing the turn and walk away and like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for trying or you did your best or something like that. Jason says Mookie is soft, and Mookie is soft. He is soft. You can't negate that. There's not a lot of spice and fire to Mookie Betts sometimes.
I, under no circumstances, think he's soft. He is, in my opinion, one of the most fierce competitors I've ever seen in a sport. Because when it's not baseball season, he's out there bowling. I know a lot of people love to troll his bowling, but he's out there. I know he's out there competing. He's out there doing a match. He's out there training in basketball. He's doing a ton of other things. And I think he knows if he shows up at ump with the emotion that I know he has, he's gone. And that is worse for the team. It is the lineup is worse without Mookie Betts. It is 100%. That is the case. And he knows that, which is unfortunately to his detriment. And it sucks. I hate that because I do think the umps kind of use that to their advantage. I really do. I think they see Mook and go, what are you going to do, big guy?
That's what I'm
you know
saying.
What I mean?
So it's time to kind of flip the script. And there's a way you can do it. As Ito in the chat, Ito Marpez says, come on, Kevin, you can't defend Mookie in the playoffs. It does get worse. And I don't, and I will say it again, I don't know what Mookie says or does different in his post game, but it's got to be something different for him. I want to see some spark. I want to see some fire. He narrowly missed a homer. Narrowly missed it.
So what was,
and that ended up being the momentum shifter in the game right off the bat.
So what was game 2 against the Padres? 9 days ago, when he's beating on his hips and he's like stoked that he hit.
Yeah, something went well
a game
for
leading
him.
Double.
Something went well for him there. I'm talking about some of those. What
are you looking for there?
I'm not looking for anything there. I'm looking specifically for a bad call, like a bad call, a bad ball strike call. That's what I want to see. I just need to see something more than him turning and just being like, thank you for spanking me. I'm gonna go home now. I'm gonna go back to the dugout.
You want the reverse Kevin Bacon treatment. You want the reverse of Kevin Bacon.
I just want him to turn, instead of turning away, turn to the umpire and be like, do better. You got to get better. Like, that's not that bad, because you tell him something like, this keeps happening, and by now he should have receipts for different home plate umpires and how they call balls and strikes to him. But it's plainly, look, when I'm up here, like, I drive a nice car. You got to do better. Just give
All right.
him something better than doing the turn and walk away and putting your bat down and handing your helmet off to, the ball boy and being like, thank you. I'm going to go sit on my and rest my tushy.
Shohei's whole season. Two things. One, Ace J with a 199 super chat says Dodgers got bullied at home.
They did.
Absolutely.
They did. 100%.
Yeah, they absolutely got bullied. Two, if that's the case with Mookie, I wonder if part of it has to do with he had to carry the team offensively for a little while. And remember, similar.
When he's on, he's on. Absolutely.
No, what I'm saying is similar to early in this year, Shohei admitted he was pressing. He thought that he had to score every run because they weren't gonna reciprocate it or whatever. I wonder if Mookie has kind of the same thing. It's like, hey, I can't argue with the ref or the ump.
Wrong sport.
Because
Sunday,
if he gets tossed, it is a huge blow for the Dodgers lineup. But
yeah. But what if it's one of those things that maybe in this scenario where he does enough, he is so upset, the guy who barely says anything to an umpire, he gets so upset that he gets hosed by an umpire for arguing for the first time in his goddamn life. Maybe that's enough to spark the team to go and do something good. Maybe you fall on the sword for the rest of your team to get sparked. And guess what? Andy Pages is pretty decent in right field, and he's got an okay bat. I'd take Andy Pages starting today over Mookie if I knew Mookie is going over and all this kind of stuff. I'm just saying I need to see something a little more spicy out of Marcus Lynn Betts.
I don't disagree with Mook needs to come up with something a little bit more fiery, a little bit more
specific. I'm seriously being specifically to bad ball strike calls from the home plate umpire. That's literally the only thing I want to see. I don't want to see him upstaging other people.
Freddie could do the same. Max
Freddie
could do the same.
Freddie can hit. And Max usually pops
Freddie's
out.
on one leg though.
But you're talking about one postseason right now. We're talking about this is regular season.
We're talking about guys with good eyes.
We're talking about regular season for Mookie. The last several postseasons, last several regular seasons for Mookie. It's the same thing where you don't see that spark, you don't see that fire, you don't see him being like, no, I feel wronged by this man who gets paid to say whether or not that pitch was a ball or a strike. I'm going to let him know you need to step up. You need to do better. Like, if he had 2% of the vitriol and anger and spice that Aaron Boone had, just give me 2% of Aaron Boone. The man who gets kicked out for somebody, looking at a butterfly. I don't know. That was dumb. But
no, Booney gets kicked out for a lot. I just
want to see more. To be honest, and if we're being swollen sausage brings up a good point.
For Dave, not for Mook, because
somebody's got to start it.
Well, Mookie knows if he gets tossed,
they will be fine. They were already losing at some point. They're already losing.
So what does it do? But it's not like the same home plate umpire is there the next two nights. It's a different guy.
It does something. It lets them know, all right, maybe he will say something and they're going to try to avoid the smoke and maybe they'll try a little bit more. I don't know. There's very little, but if you're looking for, something different, there's a something different. People, listen, you're in here with me. You see the chat. You see how much people bring up Mookie Betts. You see it on Twitter, how much people bring up Mookie Betts. The fan base is not happy with Mookie.
No, I know.
Mookie is not happy with himself and his production. None of us are happy. So if you're looking for something different to try and change a little bit of something, hey, there's something. Give me some spicy Mookie. Give me some spark, some fire, but not just when things go well. When things are going against you, argue, state your piece, defend yourself. That's what I would like to see out of your number 2 hitter.
All right, well, Noah Ortega with the 199.
Let's go, Noah.
Mookie is CT 50. He ain't good enough to be called CT 3.
Listen, we've already been here for way longer than I anticipated. It's a Sunday night. It's late. I feel like we got a lot of things. I don't know what you're doing tomorrow night, but I feel like there's a lot of things to still talk about for an off night edition, an off day edition of this show at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So, guys, we're gonna end it here.
We got another super chat.
We did. Let's
HJ
go
with the 199.
Thank you very much,
Dodgers
HJ.
fans fighting outside. Padres broke LA. Hey man, like what's funny to me, at least about like I get it. If the Padres win, the Padres win. Good for them. What's really funny is the Padres win the World Series. If big if. It's gonna look at it and go, welcome to the club. Like I don't care. It sucks because we lost to a division rival or a division opponent or whatever, but it's not like for me and just kind of like, congrats, you finally arrived? ? It's not. I don't know.
No, because they've already beat the Dodgers. Like they already have that finally arrived. Like 22 was their year.
No. I mean like World Series. Like the Dodgers have 7, and the Padres have none.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just kind of like, cool, you got one.
When we're stripping back to the high level, yeah, Dodgers are they're in a good spot. But if we're talking about now and recency bias and how much the Padres are trying to win and trying to actively beat this Dodgers team, I wouldn't say they outclassed them because they definitely did not outclass them. Did the Padres, Padres outclassing the Dodgers, but they're beating them. They beat them this year. They beat them tonight very, very, handily.
Yeah. No,
people aren't happy with you, by the way. One person.
What I'm saying is like, for a guy like Ace J who says like Padres broke LA, it's like you didn't. Like if you win one,
maybe
congrats.
Specifically drunk fans at the stadium, maybe I could see that. Like maybe
I cannot speak for them. I will not speak for them. Like we said earlier in this show, that shit's disrespectful. Mike Lopez, 299, better interview Tatis than getting on base, or Betts rather interview Tatis than getting on base.
That's pretty good. Listen, man, they've paid a lot of money to Mookie to do something for this ball club. So far, he's over, man. So far, he's over.
He's over 22. But okay, just out of sheer curiosity,
24, yeah.
If he hits the ball, I don't know, 4 inches.
More left or deeper? Yeah, no. Listen. That was his best swing he's put on in a long time.
Yeah,
and one man is not going to be the difference maker for this team. If Mookie's hitting, you have to have a few people behind him to also drive him in. We know Mookie is not he's not a slugger. He doesn't have the craziest power, and that's going to be even more reduced as the months get colder here in LA. The ball doesn't fly as far at Dodger Stadium, so that's going to go very much against him. Roach bringing up a good point. Like the only time we've seen Mookie show up was in 2020. Admittedly, something people will bring up a lot. That wasn't at Dodger Stadium. A lot of that was not at Dodger Stadium.
In a bigger ballpark.
Very much controlled environment where things were warmer. It's a controlled environment.
You might be like a really nice human being.
Who?
And the Kimura, they're like Mickey Mouse ring don't count. Goddamn, if any other ball club won that.
Do you remember the Padres celebrating in the streets?
I know.
When they got their wild card
win? I don't want
win?
to hear it. I can't. I'm not going to hear it. If the Padres had won it, they'd be like, oh my God, yeah, we'd won one World Series. If the Yankees won it, oh no, don't talk about how like it was so far from 2009. We won one in 2020. Like, just every fan base would have loved to win one in 2020. They would have.
Yeah, it's still a win. So I'm at a bit of an impasse here because it's definitely time to wrap it up. I said I was going to do it 5 minutes ago, but we're getting more people jumping in the chat, which is fair because I think our buddies over at Dodger Blue just ended. Luke Bayard with a $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Says, just saying thanks for keeping me sane, dude. Appreciate you, Luke, for tubing in, hanging out with us, of course. What do you want to do? It's later in your area, man. You want to just keep letting it eat for another 10, 20 minutes?
I can let it eat. Oh God,
Diane
I'm hungry. Let's let it eat.
Let's am hungry as well. We haven't talked. No. Listen, if we're getting people in here talking about the game, we got to talk about the game. I don't know. Did I miss a super chat? Did we miss one? No. Diane said
I would never let you miss a super chat.
Thank you.
You didn't miss a super chat.
Thank you. No, you know what we did miss though? We got voicemails. So if
Diane says we did not miss a super chat.
Maybe it's just the Luke. She thought we were about to end it. But listen, we have missed some voicemails. I got a voicemail right here. I want to fire it off. I don't know who from. Apparently I hit a subscribe button. But let's listen to, I think I clicked the right voicemail here. Let's listen to this.
Hey, Clint. First-time caller, long-time listener / watcher. You asked for good vibes. Don't know that I have too many of those, but did want to call in as a non-native LA fan. Tonight's behavior by the fan base really was embarrassing. We sit there and talk on social media at all times going, man, Padres, we live rent-free in your head, rent-free. Profar and Tatis behaving like little children in the outfield, as unprofessional as it is, the fact that the fans reacted the way we did proves that they live rent-free in our heads. And quite frankly, that was the turning point that shows perhaps this rivalry is going the opposite direction. Perhaps the owning is now coming from the South. And when it comes to a playoff standpoint, guys, like this is the kind of behavior that gives a team resolve. And now it's 1-1 going back to San Diego. I don't know how to feel too good about this, but just figured I wanted to get that message out to the fans that actually might be listening and say, you guys represent all of us, and this was embarrassing and pathetic, childish crap. And it may have just lost us a series. Bye. Thank you, Clint.
Great call there. Look at that. The voice of reason. Calling in, I appreciate that. It is childish. It is embarrassing.
It was bad. It was so bad.
We don't know that it cost the Dodgers the series yet, but it cost them, and that didn't cost them the game. Just playing the game not well, and the Padres playing very well cost them the game. But momentum, again, we'll say it again, momentum so firmly in the Padres court right now as we move into an off day, which is the worst possible off day for the Dodgers after an ugly loss, ugly game, ugly experience all around. To have that, and then you're kind of not a savior, but for a lack of a better word, your savior being Walker Buehler in Game 3 against Michael King. The cards are stacked against the boys in blue right now.
No, absolutely. For me, if they weren't going to take the series, not take the series, but if they weren't going to take a 2-0 lead tonight, this was embarrassing otherwise. It was so bad by the fans, and it just was embarrassing. I don't know. We're gonna get fans from other teams be like, "Oh, remember in 2023 or 2024 when you did this, or when your fan base did this," and it's like, man, this feels like, I wasn't a part of it. Obviously, I didn't have anything to do with it, or I wasn't young enough or old enough to recognize it. But look at the stabbings in the McCourt parking lot between the Dodgers and Giants. It feels very similar.
There's
and it's
a history.
Awful.
Yeah.
It feels so fucking bad. And when it's not a must. Tonight wasn't a must-win game. It wasn't. You just
maybe don't lose it that bad.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
And don't lose the respect. Again, I said it earlier. We're going to have to see this. We're going to have to see that shit for years to come. The aggregator social media accounts that just repost the same clips, every week, repost every month they repost the same like 10 or 15 clips, a whole bunch. We're gonna have to see that shit, and it's gonna be very one-sided because people who don't pay attention to baseball, who weren't watching this game, all they're going to see is, Dodgers fans are grumpy that they're losing, so they threw a baseball at a player, when no, there was something that at least antagonized fans enough to do something stupid under the aid of alcohol, sweet lady alcohol, but doesn't justify it, does not make fans right. The fans are wrong. Those fans that threw anything, any fans that threw anything, dead fucking wrong.
It's just wrong. Like that's so bad. And you're trying to create an atmosphere, and unfortunately, the Dodgers pitching staff can't provide a competitive atmosphere in the first couple, third of an inning. But they're trying to do that, and I don't know. It's fans are throwing shit on the field. I don't get it. I could never. I don't think you could. I know you couldn't. It's just that shit's just. It's despicable. It sucks. And now we go back to Petco Park, and guess what, guys?
That's gonna be rough.
Shit's gonna be hard for the team, and God forbid they throw stuff at Mook.
That's another really good point. That's another really good point. We haven't really explored that very much.
I'm not saying San Diego fans will do that, because I lived there for the majority of my life and they're pretty tame, but God forbid they do, and that would suck if somebody, you know what I mean, that would be awful. So it sucks that the narrative from tonight was A, the Dodgers got blown out, and B, Dodgers fans just couldn't keep it in their pants. It sucks.
Well said. I like that. I think it's honestly a pretty decent spot to end it. I do have a couple more voicemails. I'm going to pocket those for tomorrow night's stream, guys. I will be live again, 6 p.m. Pacific time here on the YouTube. We're getting more people coming in later, and of course, the more people, the later, the more drinks in, the worse off they're going to end up being. I'll leave on DJ Jesse here. DJ says, Jesse says, Profar taunting and being childish. Then, to top it off, tries to give a ball to a fan whom he robbed a home run from. I don't know if it was that. I don't know if he tried to give it to that particular fan. If so, that fan was out of line. Even more so if he was trying to hey, you could have got this home run ball, but I don't think that was the situation. But still, I will co-sign on the taunting and being childish, and that's whatever, man. That's part of this budding, this honestly real rivalry. Is the Padres want this? They want the smoke, and tonight they were able to back up the smoke. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yep,
that sucks. Just be better. Everybody, if you're out there, be better. If you go to a game, if you were one of the lucky few to secure a ticket at Petco, be better, please.
Yeah. So more talk about this tomorrow for sure. I'll be live also noon o'clock Pacific time. Myself, Alana Rizzo, Dodgers territory, and then Tubin here tonight. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Pacific time. I'll talk to Kevin. I don't know what his Monday night looks like, but maybe we'll talk about this more. If not, it'll be just us hanging out, having a conversation. But even so, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the conversation here. Appreciate this Dodgers fan base. Listen, tonight sucked. It sucked a lot of butts, and not in a fun way that the kids are into or something like that. I don't know. I'm not into that. But still, there are more games to be played. It's an even series, and the Dodgers have upwards of 3 more chances to win 2 more games and advance. Remember, they were down 3-1 in the NLCS in 2020. Weirder things have happened. This game sucked deeply, but 2 days from now is a brand new day. I do want to thank our channel members, the YouTube members, our Patreon supporters here on the channel. You guys are awesome. If you guys want to join us on Discord, where we have a bunch of conversation during the games, support on Patreon. There is a paywall to Discord, and it's through Patreon, through YouTube members, $5 a month. If you're joining at any time, tonight is the night, or this month is the time to do it, because we got postseason. We got a lot of baseball ahead of us. I'm saying we have a lot of baseball ahead of us. We're not done yet, Kevin, is what I'm saying. We're not done yet. But again, if you're looking for a different way to support these two boys, I'm trying to figure it out where you're pointed. Check out Patreon. Check out YouTube members, $5 a month. If you don't like it, cancel. If you do, stick around. We'd appreciate you. I want to thank our supporters already. You guys are great. Shout out the mods for doing a kick-ass job. I know the postseason is tough, and you guys appreciate all of us learning this together. All Dodgers is presented by Bet Online. That there is producer Kevin. Find him at Skinner7Kevin on the Twitter. He'd appreciate a follow. I'm indifferent about a follow, but if you want to follow me on Twitter or the Instagram, I'm at RealFRG. What we'd really appreciate is if you subscribe to the channel, if you gave the video a thumbs up, hit that thumbs up if you want the Dodgers to win Game 3 and Game 4. That's how it works. Roach helping me out, saying shout out to Grandma. We love Grandma. And Kev, on the way out, hit us with a bye.
Bye.